Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Old Time Rock and Roll. I'm your host, David Tear. And as you can see, I'm still on vacation in San Francisco, in my mom's house, and the lighting's not too good from where I'm sitting. I'd probably have to move somewhere else for my next few videos. I'm going to be here till the 15th. Anyway, let me continue with my top 3,000. This is my personal top 3,000 songs of the rock era from 1954 to 1999. Today I'm up to song number 2671, and that's "Make Me Lose Control" by Eric Carmen. And this wasn't featured on a regular album; it was just featured on a compilation of album of his, the best of Eric Carmen. And I guess I'll talk about the song first. Just not too much to say about it. It's a kind of a teenage love song. I mean, he's singing about. I guess he's supposed to be a DJ in the song or something. He has a video too, where he's a DJ playing rock, oldies, rock and roll oldies, and he mentions four of them in the song. The ones he mentions are "Stand by Me" by Benny King, um, uh, "Be My Baby" by the Ronettes. What else? Uptown by the Crystals, and Back in My Arms Again by the Supremes. And I guess it's just about a teenage couple making out in the car, one night. Not, it doesn't say a whole lot. And, it's an okay song. I mean, that's why I put it on my list, I guess. And a lot of his songs are kind of like this. But anyway, that's enough said. I think about "Make Me Lose Control." Um, Now I want to talk about Eric Carmen. Here's a picture of him. He died earlier this year. I just learned. He was born. I guess he was 74 years old when he died. He was born in Cleveland, Ohio, in 1949, and I'm kind of passionate about Cleveland myself because I grew up there for a few years. I still have relatives that live there. It's not a bad city. It has a bad reputation. I guess it used to be a pretty bad city. I mean, I heard the Cuyahoga River caught fire a couple times, the river that runs through Cleveland and Lake Erie, because it was so polluted. They did used to dump a lot of waste into it when they had their big industry back in the day. Cleveland's gone through a lot of changes since. Now I don't think it's a bad city. They even have the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame there, and so I do enjoy visiting Cleveland. I was just there a couple months ago. It's not a bad city, but anyway, that's where he was from. He's died in Ohio too. He died in another town in Ohio. Forget which one, but anyway, he was pretty big rock and roll singer songwriter for a while. I mean, he got started with a group called the Raspberries. Here's a picture of the Raspberries. He was with them for I think 5 years, from 1970 to 1975. I'm not even sure which one he is in this picture. I think he's the guy in the front. But they had a few big hits. I'm not going to go through all the Raspberries hits. I am featuring one of their songs later on my list. It's their biggest hit, "Go All the Way," which came out in 1972 and went to number 5. They had several other hits, mostly minor hits. But he started out with them, and then he went solo in 75. And I'll just go through his solo hits. So in 1975, he had his biggest hit. It was called "All by Myself," and that went to number 2. Following year, 76, he had "Never Gonna Fall in Love Again," which went to 11, and "Sunrise," which went to 34. In 1977, he had "She Did It," which went to 23, and "Boats Against the Current," which went to 88. In 78, he had "A Change of Heart," which went to 19, and he had a cover of a big Motown oldie, "Baby I Need Your Lovin'." I've never actually heard his version, but his version only went to number 62 as a minor hit. I do have two other covers of this song coming up on the list. I really do like this song. So the other covers are coming up pretty high, just a heads up on that. And then what else did he have? 1980 had "It Hurts Too Much," which went to 75. And 85 he had "I Want to Have It From Your Lips," which went to 35, and "I'm Through with Love," which went to 87. In 1987, he had a second biggest, or he had a second top 10, which was called "Hungry Eyes." You might remember that from the movie Dirty Dancing. That went to number 4. I'm going to digress a little bit more. I really love the movie Dirty Dancing, by the way. And it's interesting. It's an interesting movie because it takes place in 1963. And they play a lot of oldies in that movie, as I'm sure you guys all know. They play a lot of oldies from the early 60s when the movie's supposed to take place. But they play Hungry Eyes, which he didn't write until 1987. I thought it sounded kind of out of place in the movie. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but it didn't sound like a 60s oldie to me. And I've had the time of my life didn't either, and that was a number one hit. They played at the end of the movie. I think that was by Joe Cock. Oh no, not Joe Cock. It was by Jennifer Warnes and Bill Medley, and it was a good dance scene at the end. But I think they probably should have played a real oldie from the early '60s. I don't know, but it was a good scene for what it's worth. They do their lift and they do some amazing dancing. And then his last hit, or no, actually he had two more hits in 1988. He had the one I'm featured today, "Make Me Lose Control," which went to number 3. I guess that was the second biggest hit. He also had "Reason to Try," which went to number 81. So those were his hits. And, good artist. He had a lot of hits, a lot of songs, and I think he was a good artist. Oh, I think I should mention one other hit. He was also a songwriter. And he wrote the song "That's Rock and Roll" for Sean Cassidy. And that one's coming up on my list, too. I know a lot of people hate that song. It didn't come on that high, but just a heads up. I am going to feature "That's Rock and Roll," whether you like it or not, by Sean Cassidy. Anyway, that completes my profile of "Make Me Lose Control" by Eric Carmen. Thank you guys for watching. You rock, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.